What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Go Talk channel. Now, today's video, we'll be talking about the top 5 title contenders in the Western Conference. Now, before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and comment. Go ahead and subscribe, because we have a lot of content uploaded to this channel. Now, my name is Jamar. Let's get straight into it. Coming in number 5, we got the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, the Oklahoma City Thunder are currently the 5th seed in the West. Nobody expects the Oklahoma City Thunder to be this high up in the seeding. When the Oklahoma City Thunder traded away, Houston Rockets traded away Chris Paul for Russell Westbrook, nobody expected the Thunder to be doing this good. The Thunder have proved everyone wrong and proved that they can still hang in there. This team was, of course, led by the point guard himself, Chris Paul. Chris Paul has had a tremendous season this year. He's showing up, doing what he does best. This team also has stars like Dennis Schroeder, Steven Adams, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Gallinari. The thing that makes this team so good is that they have everything that a team needs. They have knockdown shooters. They have some good rim protectors. They have a good point guard. Do not sleep on the Oklahoma City Thunder. This team is just very talented. You can't sleep on it. Do I think they're going to win the ship? Nah, but I think they can make a good playoff push. Watch out for them. Coming in at number 4, we have the Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets are one of the most slept on teams in the league. Of course, led by their star, Nikola Jokic. Now, Nikola Jokic, he's been posting pictures on social media and he's in tremendous shape. Now, he has lost a lot of weight. Now, he's not a very physical big, so I don't know if that's going to hurt or help him. But if he's in tremendous shape, I still think he can get some work done. But we'll have to see when the time comes. They also have Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray is a bucket. Now, Jamal Murray has had a solid season. So if Jamal Murray shows up and plays to the best that he can, the Nuggets can do some work. They also have stars like Jeremy Grant. Well, not stars, I should say players like Jeremy Grant, Gary Harris, Paul Millsap. These guys can provide things that the Nuggets need to make a good playoff push. Now, the Nuggets not doing as good as they were doing last season when they were the number 1 seed, but they're still making it happen. So don't count them out. The Denver Nuggets, they're a team to watch out for. Coming at number 3, which is my personal favorite team, the team I want to win, the Houston Rockets. Now, the Houston Rockets are currently the 6th seed in the West, but I still think that they're up there when it comes to title contenders because they have 2 MVP caliber stars, James Harden and Russell Westbrook. Now, in the past, they kind of proved that they can't show up in the playoffs, but them playing together, I think they can. Now, the Houston Rockets, as everyone knows, traded away Capella earlier this season, and they got Robert Covington. They did this so they could open up the lane for Russell Westbrook to attack the rim. They also did it for James Harden. If you can't see that, they did it for both, really. James Harden doesn't touch him as much, but James Harden likes to dribble and take to the rim when the defender has stopped him from shooting. Now, this team also has some solid role players. They have PJ Tucker, who is playing center this season. He can knock down corner threes. They have Robert Covington, who's a great defender, who can knock down shots. They have Daniel House, who can knock down shots in the view. And they have Eric Gordon. Now, let's talk about Eric Gordon. Eric Gordon, he hasn't been that good this season. He barely even played this season. He missed a big chunk of the season. That's because of an injury. But when Eric Gordon is at his best and he's hot, you're not stopping that man. He can give you about 20 to 25 points a night. So if Eric Gordon come back like the old Eric Gordon, watch out. This team also has players like Ben McLemore and Austin Rivers. Those guys can knock down shots as well. If the Houston Rockets knock down majority of their shots, I can see them win the whole thing. Well, I hope they win the whole thing because that's my favorite team, The Houston Rockets also decided to limit James Harden's ISO ball. About time, right? They've been needing to do this. They just need to pass the ball around. James Harden doesn't need to dribble for 30. He don't need to dribble 30 times in one possession. Pass the ball around. Ball movement is everything. Now, another thing they decided to do is, this is not really a big factor, but they're giving Tyson Chandler, which is their only big, they're giving him minutes. Now, it's not going to make a huge impact or anything, but giving him minutes, you know, to compete with the other bigs like Anthony Davis and Nikola Jokic and Dwight Howard, or in the East, Giannis and Joel Embiid and Marc Gasol, Pascal Siakam. We need him out there to contend with those guys. Now, he is almost 40 years old, but he can still provide things. So, this is why the Houston Rockets are number 3. Don't sleep on the Houston Rockets. Watch out for them. Because in my eyes, they are the dark horse of the Western Conference. Coming in number 2, we have the Los Angeles Clippers. Now, Los Angeles Clippers, in my eyes, are the most dangerous team in the league. Of course, led by the reigning Finals MVP, Kawhi Leonard, and his superstar duo partner, Paul George. Now, Paul George, he missed a couple games, he missed a lot of games this season. But when Paul George does play, he's very impactful. Paul George is a bucket. Now, people talk about Paul George because, you know, he ain't been past the first round since 2013. But Paul George is that dude. Watch out for him. They also have great defenders, including Paul George, Kawhi themselves, Marcus Morris, and Patrick Beverly. Patrick Beverly is a pest on defense. Patrick Beverly is one of the best. He's the best point guard defender in the league. Another thing, the Clippers have the best and the most stacked bench in the all of the NBA. They have people like Lou Williams, Montrezl Harrell, JaMychal Green, knockdown shooters like Landry Shamet, Reggie Jackson, and they just brought in a veteran rim protector in Jakeem Noah. Now let me say this, guys. The Los Angeles Clippers are going to be very hard to beat, man. They have a stacked roster, defenders, scorers, everything. They have dogs all over their roster. I wouldn't be surprised if they win the whole thing. Now they also have some good coaches in Tyronn Lue and the head coach, Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers knows what it takes to get the job done. I would not be surprised if watching the Clippers pull this thing off. But with that being said, coming in number 1, we have the Los Angeles Lakers. The number 1 seed in the West, led by Anthony Davis, an all-star caliber player, and the best player in the world, LeBron James. Now, the Los Angeles Lakers have tons of experience. They have players like Danny Green, J.R. Smith, Quinn Cook, and Rajon Rondo, and LeBron himself that been to the finals and knows what it takes to win. These guys have tremendous chemistry in my eyes, some of the best chemistry in the NBA. And all their role players know their roles. They have Danny Green, a knockdown shooter, Dwight Howard, a rim protector. These guys know what they need to do and what it takes to get the job done. Now let's talk about these guys as rim protectors. These guys have some tremendous rim protectors. Dwight Howard, who's averaging 2.5 blocks a game. JaVale McGee was averaging 1.5 blocks a game. And Anthony Davis, who's averaging 3 blocks a game. These guys are just amazing rim protectors, all I can say. Watch out for them. You're not getting no easy buckets on these guys. Now let's talk about the number 1 reason why I think they're the number 1 title contender in the West. It's just very simple. LeBron James. LeBron James is one of, if not the best player of all time, in my eyes. Now, having 4 months off is scary for any team that likes to go up against. Because we all know about that guy. You know what I'm talking about. Playoff LeBron. Playoff LeBron is a different breed. Playoff LeBron does things that other people couldn't even imagine. Playoff LeBron is that dude. We have seen what he can do. The 2016 finals against the Warriors. Chase down block on Iguodala. I mean, LeBron knows when to turn up. And having 4 months off is very scary. Now, this is why I think these 5 teams are the title contenders in the West. Now, we'll drop a video talking about the top 5 title contenders in the East. Now that concludes the video. Now go ahead, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me why you agree or disagree with my list. Thank you. Go Talk out.